What's going on, you guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital and welcome to the video. In this video, we're introducing an exciting new company to the channel, and that company is called Laramide Resources. Now, Laramide Resources is a Canadian company with diversified uranium assets strategically positioned in the United States and Australia to deliver uranium to an increased energy-dependent world. So this is an exciting sector, guys. As we know, the uranium sector has performed very well recently. The need for energy, it's more and more important, and especially delivering that energy in a clean manner. So I'm a big supporter and believer in the uranium industry, and I'm excited to be talking about this company specifically, but also the industry. Now, this is a company introduction, so we're simply just going to be introducing the company, going over their website, the stock, and then the investor presentation, and hopefully we can get their CEO on for an interview later on. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Last but not least, for full disclosure details, this is a sponsored video. Always check the description down below for full disclosure details, along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer, and always remembering that these videos are not financial advice. With that being said, guys, I bring you Laramide Resources, and let's get straight into it. So Laramide Resources is traded on the TSX under ticker symbol LAM. So that is the Toronto Stock Exchange main board, and it has a 52-week range of 37 cents all the way up to $1.12 and a market cap of $94.56 million at the time of recording. Now that could change when this video goes out. Of course, the market fluctuates, but let's take a quick look at the stock chart and see how it's performed. And as we know, with the volatility in the markets recently, a lot of stocks are down. We're seeing the tech-heavy NASDAQ selling off like crazy. Overall, it's just a really bumpy time for stocks in general. So here we have Laramide Resources around 46 cents. Now it does have a 52-week low of 37 cents. It's looking like it's potentially finding some support in and around here. And if we look at the 1-year chart, it hasn't been this low in a while. So now might be a very interesting time to take a look at Laramide Resources. Of course, these videos are not financial advice. So let's jump to their website, and the website is laramide.com. So we just went over the introduction, kind of what they do. So projects. Laramide owns large development stage uranium projects in the United States and Australia. Investors. We do have the investor presentation there on the investor tab, and then some information about management. But here's where we're going to jump to their investor presentation for a little bit more information. So we can simply click on that right there, and it brings us to the investor presentation. Click on there, we can download it right away, and that is Q2. So this is their Q2 2022 investor presentation. So developing tomorrow's clean energy today. It is also traded on the ASX under ticker symbol LAM. And that is the Australian Stock Exchange. So macro uranium market. Where have we been? The world's clean, reliable energy. Given both conventional and unconventional demand, there might not be enough guaranteed supply for everyone. So as we know, it's been, a bumpy time for the uranium markets. There's been a couple disasters, one notably Fukushima back, almost 10 years ago. And that really did wreak havoc on the market, but it has recovered. And, we've been off to a very nice start. It seems around 2016, 2017 is when the market started to bottom in terms of prices of uranium. And then we've seen some nice jumps, especially in 2022. So there's a spot price, and then there's the long-term price in blue and red, respectively. Now, Fukushima, corrections, everyone, sorry. Just over 10 years ago is where we saw Fukushima happen. And then we saw the follow to the whole thing. Of course, the market trended down for quite a while. People started to question, is uranium, a reliable source of energy? But demand's coming back. People are adapting uranium, and I'm a believer in uranium. I feel like it's a great way to generate energy. Some people have their own opinions, but let's not get into that too much. So macro uranium market, where are we going? Little to no demand destruction. So as nuclear is not GDP correlated in the short to medium term, market was already in primary supply deficit heading into 2020. The global illness created a material supply shock. Uranium is highly concentrated geographically and geopolitically. Security of supply and supply chain vulnerability is now highly topical. So nuclear, an essential component for clean energy. So there we have it, guys. Nuclear energy has the highest capacity factor versus both traditional and alternative energy sources, prompting renewed attention to help solve the global energy needs. And as we know, with electric vehicles and everything else, just the way the world works on electricity, the demand for electricity is only growing, and so is the population. So the capacity factor, 92.5%. The closest competitor is biomass, and then we have natural gas. The fundamentals are there. So favorability to nuclear energy, 1983 to 2021. Overall, do you strongly favor, somewhat oppose the use of nuclear energy as one of the ways to provide electricity in the United States? So here we've got the percentage factor in green and the percentage oppose in orange. So it's trending up that they're in favor of it at 76% versus 24% opposing it. So that has trended downwards. Back in the 80s, it was like 50-50. Now it's a little more than 3 of every 4 people. They favor it as opposed to opposing it. So saves consumers an average of 6% on electricity bills. So that's another thing, and it adds $60 billion to the country's GDP. Well positioned today in uranium sector. Laramide is a Canadian-based company with globally diversified and strategic uranium assets in the United States and Australia. Premier in situ recovery, or ISR, division Church Rock project in New Mexico provides near-term production potential. Valuation compares favorably with USA ISR peers. Laramide's uranium projects are both potentially lower cost and have lower technical risk. Nuclear power is key to delivering clean energy and base load power to meet rising electricity consumption. Uranium market outlook is positive, with production far below future demand requirements. So we've got Mark Henderson, which we will be interviewing. He's their CEO. Laramide Chief Executive Officer since 2005, so he's been with the company since 2005. That definitely says a lot. 25 plus years of experience operating successful public mineral exploration companies and on the board of Treasury Metals, Audit Committee Chairperson, and Nubian Resources Chairman. Also take a look at the rest of the management team. It's always a great idea to do your own research and due diligence, not just on the management, but on the whole company. Download the investor presentation. Look it over thoroughly. These videos are not financial advice, but simply just an introduction. That's why I always encourage my viewers to, do their research and due diligence. So large-scale, high-quality USA and Australian projects. So Church Rock and Crown Point projects, in situ recovery division in New Mexico. Then we've got La Salle and La Jara Mesa projects. Those are hard rock assets located in Utah and New Mexico. Then we've got the Murphy Uranium Project in the Northern Territory, in terms of Australia, and then Westmoreland Uranium Project in Northwest Queensland. The key projects were acquired for their jurisdiction, where they sit on the global cost curve and the degree of technical risk required for development. So large-scale, high-quality US and Australian projects. So we're simply just going to highlight these. We're not going to go in depth, and we're going to save that for the CEO interview. And he is going to go in depth and talk about why these projects are unique. So feel free to pause this slide if you do want, to read for yourself or get some more information. I'm not going to read it word for word. We're going to jump to the next slide and just simply talk about the highlights. So Church Rock project highlights: large U.S. uranium deposit, significant resource, low cost recovery, NRC license and permitting, and exploration upside. Developer resource comparison, so excellent in-ground price leverage, enterprise value to global resource reserve base. There's where Laramide Resources sits. So there we've got the peer ISR grade. That's where Laramide sits, and the peer ISR resources. So 61.1 million pounds, right up there. Westmoreland project highlights, so large Australian uranium deposit, significant resource, sample mining, located in a world-class mining province, long mine life expected, updated PEA completed, and excellent metallurgical results. Then we've got the Murphy project, major greenfield opportunity in Northern Territory, Australia. So this is an exploration stage project, and it's really interesting to see this company. They have an awesome portfolio. So this company is very unique because they've got projects at multiple stages in the game, some at production or very close to production, and then some with a lot of exploration potential, greenfield opportunities. So district scale exploration, world-class mining jurisdiction, and Murphy acquisition completed. That is their Murphy project in the Northern Territory. So like I said, the company, LAM, traded on the TSX, or LAM on the ASX, or on the OTCQX under ticker symbol LMRXF. Shares on issue 205 million, fully diluted 233 million. Market cap of, at the time of recording, just under $100 million. Management and directors own 11% uranium-focused institutions, including ETFs, 8%, Swiss-based family office, 7%, and Extract and DSC, 5%. So the URNM ETF holdings market cap, we can see right there where they sit in terms of USD, millions of dollars. So a few more facts on the uranium market. So taking history and applying it now. So the last uranium bull market was 2003 to 2008, the emerging uranium bull market. So contracting is less important vis-a-vis nation state players, catalysts required to create incentive pricing for new supply. Few analysts remain, less than 40 companies active. High knowledge and visibility exist only on the most credible projects. Greenfield exploration could be more important this cycle. Passive and ETFs dominate. Currently, 3 sector ETFs contain LAM in portfolio and are growing rapidly. Retail is engaged much earlier. Today, we have new demand factors, including zero commission trades, Twitter, podcast, and Reddit. Sprout is visibly engaged, and we are seeing that. I've noticed, a lot of traffic towards uranium-related content on my channel, so that's very promising. Bear market low of $22 per pound set prior to this global illness is now greater than $50 per pound. Initiation of meaningful exploration, including initial drilling at the Murphy Project, Northern Territory, Australia, activity at Westmoreland and other projects, continuing uranium price recovery, and initiation of meaningful utility contracting cycle, completion of initial Church Rock PEA. Then we've got uranium price recovery achieves level where increasing visibility becomes possible at the asset level, Church Rock, Crown Point, La Salle, and other projects. And finally, asset rotation to commodities as inflation dynamic gains visibility. Commodity equities versus inflation. So we have seen commodity related equities outperform in periods of high inflation. So I think that could be what we might see. Obviously, we can't predict the future. And finally, guys, there's the contact information for anyone who wants more information on the company. Head on over to their website for that investor presentation or watch the video, pause it at any point. Thank you so much for watching. And like I said, we will have their CEO on talking more in depth. So I hope you guys enjoyed this simple introduction, and we'll see you guys in our next video. If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below, along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.